today's session, you will get some familiarity. You will definitely and I'm going to, at the end of the, giving you like a 300 line of code explaining each and every line. And probably by, if you come tomorrow, you have to run those code by yourself. And then probably, yeah, the things that I'll be showing tomorrow will be more clean and more clear to you. Okay, so session 2 will be mostly talking about statistics, because we know what is the distribution, normal distribution, random distribution, what is the mean, mode, average, and probably probability distribution, probability density functions, things like that, and a probability test, and then ANOVA test. These are different kind of statistical tests, you know. If the data is normal, then we do a parametric test, and if data is not normal, we do non-parametric test. Okay, so that kind of statistical tests with some sample data will do in R. So R as a language is very, very powerful. So it can do some statistical analysis, as well as some, like as a data scientist, I use more like machine learning, more like building models, which will be session 5 mostly. But to get to that level, we need to know the nitty-gritty details, the building blocks of R. And that's why I have put the session 3 and 4 more like getting to know more about R using some graphs and visualizations. So once you have done some kind of statistical like a processing, like the normal statistical distribution, and see the data and do some like a tests, different kind of statistical tests. Some, like I'm talking about inferential statistics and also summary statistics. So that kind of statistics would be helpful for your study design, like an experimental design. So that kind of things I will be talking about in session 2. Session 3, I will talk about visualizations, like a different kind of graphs. And using R packages, predominantly there are 2 R packages that can help you to nail out any kind of graphs, graphics. So we'll be talking about those visualizations. Then session 4, I'll be talking about the data wrangling. So the term may not be familiar to you. So if I want to decode the term, what is wrangling? It's basically massaging data. So data comes of different shape, different attributes, different messiness. Think about data as a kind of a messy object. And then we need to transform it, like make it like a column wide or row wide, and we want to say check the year is year, and probably we want to create a new variable out of it. For example, if we know the date of birth, what is the age of the person, then we can create a new field by deducting the date of birth from the current date. Okay, so that kind of operations are called general wrangling, which is kind of a data pre-processing that helps us to create or curate data. Once data is messy, so we'll see what are the different techniques available, what kind of transformations we can apply so the data look beautiful. So the whole purpose of wrangling is to make data beautiful, okay, or usable or meaningful for the next journey we want to have with the data. Then session 5 is mostly like give you an idea, your hope. So if you decision we can make, that is the answer with the machine learning approaches. So probably if I get much time, and if you're progressing well, and hopefully I expect so, because you are all judicious and very keen to learn it. So, and you have to put walk an extra mile to do that. I'll be talking about some machine learning approaches in R, probably simple regression. So just predicting to show you some kind of regression analysis using R. So that is the expectation I am setting forward on the very first day, and hope this journey will be smooth. Okay, so now a little bit about myself. So my name is Mustafa Sheikh. Probably I have not introduced formally in the beginning because I want to set the expectation first. Now, this is me, as you can see, and soon I will turn off the cameras to save some bandwidth. So this slide basically not marketing myself, just telling you that I have a lot of experience working with the data with multiple companies. And at the moment I'm working in the health, if we can take the data-driven decisions. And I have a few projects on my pocket that I can talk, and probably that could be taking another presentation to talk about those projects. But thing is that health is a very interesting and critical space to work in a data space, similar like a finance, where talking about the profit and things like that. But my interest is about health, population health, or you can say disease, or like a genotype and phenotype data, so that I can population in terms of their health. So during the COVID, I have a lot of works to be done. I actually did some work on in health space, which saved many people's life. And probably you can see Australia is not that very much affected country. We could save many lives because of right modeling and right intervention taken on time. So yeah, so this is me, and I'm also a graduate from Khulna University. Probably that logo is not there because but I feel very much connected. I have done some work with Khulna University as well, but I work in industries, academia, and a lot of consultancies. So my profession-wise now, I'm working as a senior data scientist in New South Wales Health, which is, where is the screen gone? Let me, okay. Can you see my screen? Okay. Yeah, okay. Is the screen still there? Okay,
Yes.
can you, okay, okay. Now, yeah, so let's have a look our today's objective, okay? So today's session, as I said, is going to be very much knowing about the programming language, R as a programming language. And I guess yesterday you got an email about downloading the applications, right? So in installing R and RStudio, predominantly these two software will be required. So I hope you have all installed this application, because without this application, we will not be able to write the programs. So I hope you have already done so. So I've just quickly, for those who has not downloaded the application, I'll just go there for them, and then I will come back to the slide. So if you want to install R, you have to go to this you go to Google simply and type install R. That will give you a link, and from that link, base link, install R for the first time. If it is a Windows, I assume you are a Windows user, so you can install R from that source. Okay, and I hope all of you have installed. If not, anyone had not installed this application, I really recommend do it now, because I will be spending next 10 to 15 minutes, or maybe like a maximum 20 minutes, talking about the general stuff, to giving a room so that you install these applications. And then when we'll be showing things, you can relate these things with your own installation, with your own interface that you have already. Okay, otherwise you'll be lagging behind. So the second piece of software you need to install is the RStudio. So I gave you the direct link yesterday through some email communications. So download that exe file and install RStudio. Okay, so same way, if you have not installed RStudio, Google install RStudio, and then go to RStudio desktop, which will like this. And you can install. This is a free software. So good thing is that R doesn't require any money. There is no license expiry. It's all free, open source, and there are like tons of libraries and tons of free like applications that we can use in R. And RStudio is actually the programming interface that we'll be using to work with R. So these are the two software: install R and install RStudio. Okay. Once you have done so, that's good. If not, anyone didn't do it, I really recommend go to that email and install this software now. And now I'll be spending like an extra, as I said, next 15 minutes or 20 minutes to talk to you about the general approach, because I have an assumption that you don't know any programming knowledge at all. Okay, so I'll start from that ground zero. So what is a programming language? Okay, so think about a language. For example, if you know, because as an adult human, we know at least our own language, because when we were born as a kid, then our parents taught us a language, which is our vernacular, our national language, right? And now if you go to any foreign country like Germany, Japan, whatever, you want to adopt a language, what we do, we try to using the base language, we try to like a map what is that. For example, if we know hello in Bangla, say আমরা যদি বাংলা যদি বলি সে বলি যে কেমন আছেন, but in Japanese we probably say konnichiwa, or probably hello could be like a different language in Germany, right? So that's a way we map a new word or new vocabulary or new language, the construction of a new language from a known language. So it would be easier for those who has already know a programming language, because for them it is just mapping those concepts of that language into